The holiday season has officially begun, and for millions of folks, that means more cookies and sweets, and let's be real, a few extra pounds, but there's a huge new study out revealing which weight loss drug is the most effective. And of course, here to break it all down for us, we've got the one and only Dr. Kohli.
Yes.
You remind me of like a sorbet. Her little beautiful dress.
A tangerine peach duo sorbet.
Yes.
It's fabulous.
Thank you, Tori.
I really can't. I can't get over it.
Yep.
Okay, what did this new study find, and why is one weight loss drug more effective than the other? Which one is it?
You know, there's been an explosion of weight loss drugs on the market, and we've really changed the way we think about obesity. So this study sat down and looked at how do they compare to each other. And the two most popular ones are Ozempic and Mounjaro. So it looked at people who were prescribed these medications, over 18,000 people, and it said who lost more weight and who lost it faster. And Mounjaro was ahead by a landslide.
Same cost?
Same side effects. Cost is a little bit up in the air still, but the same side effects. So it really gets us thinking, is this the new and improved Ozempic? And it makes sense from a scientific perspective because Ozempic hits one hormone receptor and Mounjaro actually hits two. Now we have a drug in the works that's going to hit three. That was presented at the American Diabetes Association earlier this year. It'll come out next year, maybe for obesity. But my bigger question is not just the weight loss, but how does this translate into preventing heart attacks and preventing strokes, which we know that these drugs do. So I'm super excited.
Are you nervous people are going to abuse this one that hits all three? What do you call them? Receptors?
Yeah. Well, so I think the problem is, Sam, you make a really good point. It's a slippery slope, right? And it's becoming easier and easier for us to just take an injection and shed 15% of our body weight. You're talking 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds for some people, and do it within weeks. So I'm worried that people are going to use it recreationally and say, hey, I got to drop some weight for a wedding, or bikini season is coming up, or what have you, because that's not how they're designed. We also don't have long-term data on these drugs. And so as good as they are, and as much as I love them for the right patient, I don't want somebody who's just trying to shed off a few extra pounds to be reaching for these.
So if there's different levels, and now you kind of say Ozempic's at the bottom, which I could see suburban housewives like, she's on Ozempic. She can't even get Mounjaro.
Mounjaro.
You know, whatever it is.
Yeah. Mix it with DiGiorno pizza.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
It's not delivery.
I'm eating DiGiorno.
Mounjaro.
And that's what I'm eating. But aren't people just going to keep chasing their tail as long as they keep getting better and better?
Yeah, I mean, you're making a good point, which is that if we're getting better, is it going to push out the less, the initial drugs? But I don't think so, because that pie is so big. We're talking about 4 out of 10 Americans who struggle with medical obesity, who struggle with getting the weight off. So the more drugs that we have, the more we can personalize the care for people. Now, there are some people, if they hit a wall on Ozempic, they might switch to Mounjaro. There also is now a pill form coming of these medications, and we have to see how that works. Does it work the same? Does it work differently? Does it help with the weight loss in the same way? So I think it's actually opening up a whole new area of research, but I don't think it means that we're done with Ozempic. Ozempic is a great drug. It's now, like I said, shown benefit for heart attacks and strokes. So I, as a cardiologist, have now started writing it to keep people from having heart attacks and strokes.
Yeah,
Right?
I think that pill is going to drop that barrier of people that were scared of needles, because that's kind of the last stand. So, I mean, we are talking about pills now. So are we looking at a pill or a needle for to replace exercise and working out, like to give you musculature?
Here's where Jeff's slippery slope comes in. We've gotten so comfortable with shortcuts, and this class of medications has shown us that shortcuts don't just work, they're medically indicated and recommended, and they can keep you alive longer, that we may start thinking now, and in fact for the last 20 years people have been trying to design an exercise pill. And what does exercise do? Of course it causes some changes in the muscle, but it also causes all these other effects in the body, like our mood and our immune system and our risk for cancer. Those cannot be replaced by a pill ever. And that's where I think we as a medical community need to draw the line, that everything in life isn't replaced by a pill, and our bodies were designed to get up and move, to get up and exercise.
Yeah, and it's not like I'd say I work out and I notice it personally, like my mood changes, I feel accomplished. Those are just my workouts. I'm talking, if you go for a walk, your mood changes. You feel like you're accomplished. If I make my bed, just something small, it doesn't have to be, when I say working out, do a 2-hour workout. Something small, walk around the block, that's accomplishment, that's getting going. flowing. And I don't think that could be replaced ever with a pill. Again, I'm not a doctor.
And to get sunlight, I'm just going to say, just to get out there and to walk inside. Even doing a crossword makes me feel like I've done something in today.
No, we're going a little far.
The crossword is helpful, right?
You're reaching.
That's a workout for your brain.
Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you so much. All right, let's switch gears here to my favorite human on earth, Gwyneth Paltrow. Okay, she is in the midst of perimenopause. Props for her to being transparent, right? And this is her quote she told People magazine. I've been really trying to focus on having a very well-functioning gut and liver so that these excess hormones can be flushed out of the body and cause less symptoms. What do we think of this? Is this a good idea? She's not a doctor, and her medical advice has been unsound before, so I wanted to ask a real doctor.
Well, you know, I don't think this is completely sound what she's saying, because it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So when we're in perimenopause or menopause, we actually have less hormones. We have less estrogen. Some women have less testosterone as well, and that's what causes our symptoms. It's the withdrawal of those hormones. So for her to say that she's flushing out excess hormones in her
gut, is she maybe on hormones?
That's what makes me wonder.
And she's worried that they could accumulate, and she wants to flush out excess hormones?
That's what I wonder, that maybe she's taking some supplemental hormones to help her with the symptoms of her perimenopause.
And then the excess.
And that's what she's referring to.
Would that make sense if that were true?
Well, the gut is a very important part of excretion of any bad things in our body. So it's our kidneys and our intestines that basically get rid of a lot of the toxins. So keeping good gut health, I can't emphasize this enough, our risk for heart disease, our risk for cancer, all the bacteria that live in our gut can change so many things about our immune system.
And
so that I agree
your
with.
gut affect your mental health as well?
Yes,
they call it your
100%.
second brain, right?
That's right. The second brain, and there's a lot of data now about how probiotics and such can help with a lot of our mental issues. So I believe in gut health completely because it affects the rest of our body. But I think we have to be careful about
Sam was just waiting on our Postmates, and you were definitely hangry.
Oh my gosh, I was so hangry.
You were hangry. It was like this just happened.
Okay, I was hangry. I'm better now.
And you're better now.
Maybe that's part of perimenopause, though, too. I don't know if I'm in perimenopause. I'm 43 years old. How does someone know if they are about to hit menopause or they're in perimenopause? How long does it even last?
Are they menopause?
What? Like peri-como?
Yeah.
I brought him up like yesterday. Why do we keep bringing him up?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wasn't here.
I don't know.
Yeah, you made fun of me. The Christmas song that I said I listened to from Perry Como. Anyways, go ahead, Dr. Kohli.
So it's a really good question, ladies. How do we know when we're in menopause? The age gives us a clue, right? So the average age of menopause is 51. So as we start to get into our upper 40s, we want to start thinking about it. But some women go into menopause early, and we know that. So what your body tells you, the signs that it gives you, is how you're going to know. So irregular periods, hot flashes, and some women mood swings. But I want to emphasize that menopause and perimenopause looks different for each one of us. Now, this is something that every single woman in the world is going to go through. Every woman in our lives is going to have this transition, but we know so little about it.
I know.
I'm so unaware.
And how long does perimenopause last?
So it can usually last, it can last for a year or two. For some women, it can last for 6 months or less. So again, it's very variable. But really, once you've gone 12 months without a period, that's the definition of menopause. Okay. Now, you can confirm that with the blood test to suggest that your estrogen levels have gone down.
I can go get my blood tested with a hormone doctor?
With the regular doctor.
Oh, regular doctor, okay.
But I would be careful about doing it during perimenopause because you have kind of like peaks and troughs with your hormones. So you may have weeks when you look like you're in menopause.
I see.
And then it wakes up again, and then you look like you're not.
Huh. Okay. We got to stay on this.
Yeah. Perry Como this.
All right.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
The detective about
DBL Nation. He wasn't a detective. He's a singer. DBL Nation, be sure to follow Dr. Kohli on social media at Pyle Kohli MD. Also subscribe to her YouTube page for the latest science news and headlines. Thank you so much, Dr. Kohli. We appreciate you as always.